What's up everyone and welcome. In this episode we're going to talk about a new report from Microsoft about the old Log4j vulnerability. The insights Microsoft shares are amazing. Microsoft is seeing app groups incorporating variations of the Log4 shell exploit into their existing malware kits like these exploits are some kind of plug-and-play add-on. Let's see what else we can learn to protect ourselves and others from this attack.
Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
Threat actors vigorously launched exploit attempts and testing during the last weeks of December, Microsoft said in the latest update to its landing page and guidance around the flaws in Apache's Log4j logging library. We have observed many existing attackers adding exploits to these vulnerabilities in their existing malware kits and tactics, from coin miners to hands-on keyboard attacks, according to Microsoft. This comes on the heels of news that relentless Log4 shell attacks have come from nation-state actors that are both testing and have already implemented the exploit. As of December 15th, more than 1.8 million attacks against half of all corporate networks using at least 70 distinct malware families had already been launched to exploit the bugs. In case you've been living under a rock, the remote code execution vulnerabilities in Apache Log4j 2, which are CVE 2021-44228 and CVE 2021-45046 and CVE 2021-44832, are collectively referred to as Log4 shell. Within hours of the initial flaws public disclosure on December 10th, attackers were scanning for vulnerable servers and unleashing quickly evolving attacks to drop coin miners, Cobalt Strike, the Orcus remote access trojan, reverse bash shells for future attacks, Mirai, and other botnets and backdoors. Congratulations, you're doing a great job by wanting to learn about the ways Log4j is being exploited and by watching my episode about it. I appreciate your support. If you think I can improve on anything or just want to say hi, leave me a comment in the section below. I look forward to reading said comments. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and smash the bell to be notified when I upload new episodes where I give you insights into the newest and important cybersecurity news stories like this one. With my insights, you can be better prepared to protect your company, your family, and yourself against these and other cyber attacks. So hit the subscribe button and the like button and the comment and share, and let's continue to learn about this attack together. The new attack vector presented by Log4 shell is vast, severe, and has ample potential for widespread exploitation. The flaw, which is uber easy to exploit, is resident in the ubiquitous Java logging library Apache Log4j and could allow unauthenticated RCE and complete server takeover. Within 3 days of the flaw's disclosure, it was spitting out mutations. Within 10 days, the notorious Conti ransomware gang had created a holistic Log4 shell attack chain. As of the last week of December, the advanced persistent threat Aquatic Panda was targeting universities with Log4 shell exploit tools in an attempt to steal industrial intelligence and military secrets. Most recently, Microsoft has observed attackers obfuscating the HTTP requests made against targeted systems. Those requests generate a log using Log4j2 that leverages Java Naming and Directory Interface, or JNDI, to perform a request to the attacker-controlled site. The vulnerability then causes the exploited process to reach out to the site and execute the payload. Microsoft has observed many attacks in which the attacker-owned parameter is a DNS logging system intended to log a request to the site to fingerprint the vulnerable systems. The crafted string that enables Log4 shell exploitation contains JNDI, followed by the protocols such as LDAP, LDAP-S, RMI, DNS, IOP, or HTTP, and then the attacker domain. But to evade detection, attackers are mixing up the request patterns. For example, Microsoft has seen exploit code written that runs a lower or upper command within the exploitation string. even more complicated obfuscation attempts are being made to try to bypass string matching detection. While Minecraft isn't commonly installed in enterprise networks, Microsoft has nonetheless also observed PowerShell-based reverse shells being dropped to Minecraft client systems via the same malicious message technique, enabling an actor to fully take over a compromised system, which they then use to run Mimikatz to steal credentials. Now, these techniques are typically associated with enterprise compromises with the intent of lateral movement, Microsoft said, meaning that the goal in targeting of Minecraft users who tend to be children seems unclear. It's early yet in this campaign. There hasn't been detectable follow-on activity yet, indicating that the attacker may be gathering access for later use. Microsoft urged Minecraft customers running their own servers to deploy the latest Minecraft server update and for players to exercise caution by only connecting to trusted Minecraft servers. Microsoft's Threat Intelligence Center, or MSTIC, has also observed the CVE 2021-44228 flaw being used by multiple tracked nation-state activity groups originating from China, Iran, North Korea, and Turkey. The actors are experimenting during development, integrating the vulnerabilities to in-the-wild payload deployment, and sending exploitations against targets. One example, MSTIC has observed the ransomware-wielding Iranian phosphorus actor, aka Charming Kitten, TA453, App35, Ajax Security Team, News Beef, or Newscaster, et al., acquiring and making modifications of the Log4j exploit. We assess that Phosphorus has operationalized these modifications, Microsoft observed. MSTIC has also seen the China-linked Hafnium group using the vulnerability to attack virtualization infrastructure in order to extend the group's typical targeting. In these attacks, Hafnium-associated systems were observed using a DNS service typically associated with testing activity to fingerprint systems. Microsoft is also seeing additional remote access toolkits and reverse shells being dropped via exploitation of CVE 2021-4422828, which is malware that actors use for hands-on keyboard attacks. Besides the Cobalt Strike beacons and PowerShell reverse shells seen in early reports, the company has also seen Meterpreter, Bladabindi, and Habits Rat. Follow-on attacks from these shells have not been observed at this time, but these tools have the ability to steal passwords and move laterally. The activity is coming from small-scale, possibly more targeted attacks, possibly related to testing campaigns. The software giant said. Also, researchers have observed the addition of CVE 2021-44228 to existing campaigns that were exploiting vulnerabilities to drop remote access tools. Microsoft said that the Habits Rat campaign overlapped with infrastructure used in prior campaigns. Microsoft has also seen various other methods like multiple ransomware access brokers using the vulnerability to gain initial access to target networks, access that they sell to ransomware as a service affiliates. Mass scanning by both attackers and security researchers, the vulnerability has rapidly gotten sucked up into existing botnets like Mirai, existing campaigns previously targeting vulnerable Elasticsearch campaigns or systems to deploy cryptocurrency miners, and activity deploying the Tsunami backdoor to Linux systems. No big spikes in ransomware attacks. True, ransomware has been delivered via modified Minecraft clients, but so far it's been only on a small number of cases. That could change given that access brokers, as mentioned before, associated with ransomware as a service affiliates are folding the vulnerability into their initial access toolkits. But Microsoft is also seeing older ransomware payloads in limited use by security researchers and a small number of attackers. Finally, they're seeing it in Web2's malware. Web2's is a malware with distributed denial of service capabilities and persistence mechanisms that could allow an attacker to wreak yet more havoc, is also being deployed via the Log4 shell vulnerability. As if all that weren't enough, it's all likely going to get worse, Microsoft said. Just like Log4j is tucked away into nooks and crannies, so too are exploits going to get added to yet more attacker toolkits. The majority of attacks we have observed so far have been mainly mass scanning, coin mining, establishing remote shells, and red team activity, but it's highly likely that attackers will continue adding exploits for these vulnerabilities to their toolkits, Microsoft said. So, what can we learn? Well, this kind of reminds me, or actually does remind me a lot of the atmosphere surrounding the SolarWinds attack. Now, I know that it's not the same thing, but the fallout from this vulnerability has the depth and breadth comparable, if not greater than, the SolarWinds attack. A massive part of the Log4 shell nightmare is the fact that it's not always obvious which software is using a vulnerable version of the Log4j library, or which piece of software even has Log4j embedded in it as a dependency. This is why documentation is crucial to figure out your risk. If you don't know what you have, you're oblivious and just asking for trouble. So again, take some time to dust off those plans and processes and make sure someone in your company has a way to track all software you're using, including the version number, its dependencies, the maintenance plan, etc., etc., etc. With that, I say thanks again for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already, and smash the bell, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.